Transmitting to you from Old Heart Radio.
Record.
There it is.
There it is. All right. I suppose let's kick it off. Episode 43. Episode 43.
Boy. Matinee Edition.
Matinee Edition. Right in your face.
Jared
or,
and Lucas.
Or your ears, depending on which part of your face you're listening to this with.
All right. That's a way to start.
There you go. How's the week been, man?
Nothing too crazy.
Yeah.
I will say, if we have a listener going to UW and you see a class called Ideas Through Objects.
Objects.
Don't take it.
What is that? What is this class?
It's I can only describe it as bizarre, and it doesn't help that we're online. If you're in person and you're listening to this later, go to town. Don't take it online. It makes no fucking sense.
Just give me the name one more time.
Ideas Through Objects. I had to build a fucking fake tree for this shit.
Why?
Because I came up with some like dumb philosophical reasoning for like it's like it's the image of something living, but it's fake. Yeah. I made it out of tape. Tape and old chopsticks. It worked really well.
Well, I suppose that like, yeah, it'd be probably kind of sturdy with the chopsticks at least.
It works. I was really hoping you weren't going to validate my dumb philosophy when you were like, so, well.
My girlfriend always tells me I am the most negative human being she's ever met. Maybe not like she doesn't use that vernacular, but she says I'm always super negative.
I wouldn't say negative.
I've been trying to find the positives,
Jared is a avid pessimist.
Yes.
The glass is half empty, but at least there's water in there.
Yeah, exactly. It's like a skill that it's a lifestyle you hone over time. So I'm getting better at it with age. And I think
yeah. Like a fine cheese.
Yeah. But that's the key though. If you want people to stand being around you, you have to kind of curb it just a little bit. So
that's how we started hanging out.
Yeah, so here I am, trying to say that glass is there.
There's something in it.
Wow, what a glass.
Anyway. Check the box for icebreaker at the beginning of episode. Let's get into the content.
We're going through the Breaking Bad rewatch, and we're going through a few, like, we're on movies every week.
Oh yeah.
But
we're starting off with the rumors.
We get all to that. We got to turn out the rumor mill, which we just still don't have a sound clip for, but there it is, dude. That ugly rumor mill. So first things first, I thought this was strange because it wasn't as big of news as hearing about Mulan, but I've just been seeing rumors and news that Black Widow is popping up on video on demand services.
It doesn't surprise me.
Well, it doesn't surprise me either, but it seems like a very subtle move. If it's really true, I imagine we'd be hearing about it pretty soon. So that's why it's like still kind of stuck in the rumor mill, because it's like,
well, this is something that like, well, it's sort of weird, despite them being in the same space, to compare this to like a video game launch. But with video games being so digital oriented and you get them immediately, seeing it come up on like a marketplace for digital download like a few months before it's supposed to come out, and it like locking in a release date, that happens. So
fair. So I mean, they got to commit to something.
Yeah, exactly. Or it's like in a lot of cases, like a third party retailer like Amazon or something, like what happened in this case would like in like a foreign country, it would pop up with like a release date on it and then get very quickly taken down.
Yeah.
It's so like that's why I immediately thought of here, like maybe we will get it video on demand. And considering the current feelings in the United States, like I'm not going to a theater anytime soon. And I fucking love going to the movies.
Yeah, dude, same. But yeah, that's what I was thinking too. Like, I really think that it's probably just a rumor, but I think at this moment in time, it's really Black Widow's fate is like really dependent on what Mulan does.
Yeah, I agree.
Like,
I think we saw Trolls, right? So I didn't watch it, but we saw the result.
I haven't seen it, but I've heard. Yeah, it was wildly received. But
yeah, it made like $140 million.
Yeah,
which is pretty damn good.
Parts of but people aren't as like necessarily. I don't get the feeling that people are as hunkered down as they were right when that came out in certain areas. You know what I mean? I think there's I think people still are, but I think it might be a slightly changing marketplace again.
Yeah.
And so that's why I think Trolls was a success. I bet Mulan will be a success.
Yeah. I feel like Mulan, like they're not targeting as like high of figures as like an MCU film akin to Black Widow.
I mean, probably not. That's why it's like a good movie to test out with, because it's probably going to be popular. But it doesn't, if it doesn't have huge numbers, it won't be looked at as a failure. It'll just be looked at as like, cause of just going online. So I think it'll be, I think it's really just that they're testing the market, and you're seeing other places do the same with like how they're releasing things. But, I mean, I'm interested. I feel like we will see Black Widow being put up online.
I think so too. Or it'll be like a really limited release in theaters. Or like, honestly, if I see that's at a drive-in, like I'll drive down to the drive-in out in Shelton, Washington, and watch Black Widow.
I want drive-ins to be back. I do.
I know this because my girlfriend, but like I guess a bunch of the fucking the RuPaul's Drag Race, like the like All Stars were going on a tour or something, and they're doing exclusively drive-ins now.
Oh, that's dope.
It's like what a great idea. Like they're out on stage performing, and there's a bunch of people in a fucking stadium in their cars. Like, I guess it works.
I mean, I think it's fucking great.
I think performance is just like, when it comes to just like any kind of video or like presentation, it's just going to have to evolve for a bit. I think it's if they delay it past November, which is when they were saying it was going to get released, it'll probably be like contingent on there being like vaccine stuff, which I don't want to get into. It's movies, not bullshit.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah, I mean, like I think as we go, we'll see more and more things kind of being hung up until like later this year.
Yeah, I wouldn't be surprised.
But hopefully not Black Widow. I hope we get a release online this year. Like
me too.
We've had
that movie. We've had a dry spell in the MCU for a while.
We have, dude. I watched Endgame recently, and I was like, I haven't watched any MCU films in a hot grip. I haven't even thought really hard about the MCU in a while. Yeah. And so like I just dove right into Endgame, and I felt so like dry and out of place on it. I was just sort of like, dude, I get where everything's coming from, but like, without like I have like I don't know, without
it's like we usually have like 3 context. We usually have like 3 a year, and now we're down. We haven't had one since Spider-Man Homecoming. It's been a year. And
I haven't been like constantly, thinking about it and thinking about like the different things happening right now. Cause like, where's the Eternals news?
That's a fucking testament to the overall quality and response those films get as well.
Oh, for sure. I mean, like I don't think
they're cranking out content.
Oh yeah, for sure. And
keeps your mind on it.
So, I don't know. Either way, I'm looking forward to seeing what they do with Black Widow, because again, I think Mulan is a test, but I think Black Widow is going to be kind of like the bigger test of the market as well. So, You know.
It's more,
Also,
I feel like it's a more mainstream
I just
product.
want to see David Harbour as Red Guardian, so I can
Who the
chuckle a
fuck
little
doesn't,
bit and
right?
watch him get in fights. So yeah.
Yeah, I can't wait to watch David Harbour die because
Ooh.
he is the comic relief character and he is going to die.
Axed.
I keep seeing like in the trailers there are these clips of him fighting Taskmaster, and I'm just like,
that's probably the scene.
That's probably it.
Yeah, that's probably the scene.
He's too fun of a character.
Yeah, fair enough.
Actually, I have something to bring up sort of in this vein. So as we talked about, I think last episode or in one of the lost episodes, Tenet is getting a release in nations that have the coronavirus under control.
Oh yeah, that makes sense.
As of recently, a lot of concerns have arose about pirating.
Mm-hmm.
How do you feel about this? Because it is a problem still, less so because of video on demand services.
How do I feel about pirating? I don't give a shit about pirating because I don't give a fuck about these companies losing a little bit of money, like a little bit of coin from people. Like I really don't. But
I have a question for you though.
But I don't want to watch that movie.
Would you steal a car?
Online. Would I steal a car? Is this like a PSA? Is this one of those like before the I love those.
Would you steal TV?
Would I steal a car?
Why would you steal a movie?
Why would you steal a damn? Hey guys, why would you steal a damn movie?
Oh God, I remember this from when I was a kid.
Yeah, dude, I was always like, I don't give a fuck. Like, I got although I'll straight up be honest, I got sent a cease and desist letter.
What?
Because I pirated an entire season of Game of Thrones once. And I did it.
That's a cease and desist?
No joke.
What?
And so the it got sent to my workplace because at the time I was like roasting coffee, and so I was like just doing shit on the side of my laptop. And so I was like pirating Game of Thrones on one side and roasting beans on the other side.
Oh no.
And so I got sent to my work and they're like, what the fuck is this? And I was like, oh, that's mine.
God.
And yeah.
You got fucking served.
Yeah, but I looked it up multiple times, and to be real, like if you just like there's people out there that just like they'll buy really cheap movies and the rights to really cheap movies, and then if somebody downloads them randomly, they can like if they can like, you know, be alerted of that or whatever.
Yeah.
And then they like they're mostly lawyers or law firms, and they'll sell or they'll like send letters to like say I'm like, you know, gonna bring up a lawsuit,
demand a royalty
like
or something.
Yeah, basically, like
what a bunch of fuckers.
Like they'll send you letters like saying like I'm gonna take you to fucking court and shit. And like realistically, it's like this. I looked it up, and like basically, it's like this weird thing where you basically just like if you engage them, it becomes like a thing. And so like
you just never responded.
Well, no, with what I got was differently, but like it's like I read about these cases of like people just kind of like buying up a bunch of rights and then like selling and then like doing that, which I thought was fucking weird.
Damn.
I was like, I mean, people find ways to make money.
That's bizarre.
That's bizarre. Also, okay, so got another rumor for you.
Yeah.
How do you feel about the Black Adam movie coming up? It's actually happening, apparently.
It's actually happening, and The Rock has been teasing it on his Instagram account.
Apparently, they released the first photo of it, right?
Yeah, something like that. It was like him.
Yeah,
him standing in front of like a lightning bolt or something.
But you can barely even see that it's him. So it's like clearly
it's definitely concept art.
It's all concept art, CGI shit. But I just read the rumor that Alexander Skarsgård, one of the Skarsgård boys, is up for the role of Hawkman.
Who?
Was that a hawk? Was that your best hawk impression?
It was actually an owl. I'm more of an owl man fan. Like, I'm a big Watchmen guy. No, I mean,
how do you feel about that?
I'm not super familiar with Hawkman. It'll work, but like, I'm not. He's not a character that I'm especially fond of.
Hawkman it's interesting that they're going to make him an addendum to the Black Adam movie. I think that's basically because both, I mean, they overlap in comics, I'm sure, but like they also, you know, like Black Adam starts in ancient Egypt. Like he's from ancient Egypt. I can't remember his fucking name, but like Hawkman and I don't know why it's Hawkman and a hot girl, but it's Hawkman and a hot girl, and they're both like they reincarnate constantly.
Yeah.
And I think one of their lives was in ancient Egypt also. So
sweet. So it's like Avatar.
So it's like Avatar. So Black Adam will probably be based in
ancient Egypt. That would make sense if they were to like plant the seeds there and then do the Black Adam and Shazam movie.
So let me ask you this. Do you think that we'll see a Scorpion King appearance?
Oh boy. I hope they reference it at least. That would be amazing.
Black Adam like eats a scorpion or something like
No, I just want to see like some hieroglyphs in the background. You know? Like that type of thing. That would be amazing.
Like a hieroglyph of Brendan Fraser fighting a scorpion man.
Yeah, totally. A shitty CGI scorpion man.
Oh, that'd be amazing. I mean, so I think for the character traits that I understand about Hawkman, brooding and being able to fly, I'm pretty sure that Skarsgård could take that on. I honestly don't have any hate on Alexander Skarsgård, but I've never seen him do anything outside of like just like kind of being like the tall, kind of muscular, like silent but like strong guy. You know, but you know, whatever. Put some wings on him, make him fly. Like have him punch.
That's the quote of the century, man. You know, whatever. Just put some wings on him.
Yeah. But the Skarsgårds technically are already in one of the comic book universes. You brought this up before we recorded.
Papa Skarsgård is
Papa Skarsgård.
He's in the Thor movies. But Selvig, it just came to me.
Yeah, Selvig.
But then also, I mentioned this to you when we were briefly discussing the talking points. This show is not improvised, listener. When we were briefly discussing the talking points, we were talking about how Bill Skarsgård looks like he's going to be playing the clown in the Hawkeye TV show. Which is fantastically meta and great.
The thing is, like, the Skarsgårds
they're like the Hemsworths. They're weirdly pervasive, and some of them do slightly better.
Yeah, for sure. Like, I'd say Alex Skarsgård is definitely the Chris Hemsworth of the Skarsgårds. Bill Skarsgård is definitely the better actor. So I don't know where that goes on the Hemsworth scale, because they're all kind of like in that genre of mediocre at best. Like, I mean, they're good. They're funny at times. They're good for what they do, but you know what I mean? Like, you're not going to watch them be dramatic.
Well, I would disagree. I feel like Bill is the Chris, and
whoa, controversial statement.
Whoa. This is what you came to Matinee Edition for. Hot takes. You heard this here first.
They came to hear us debate the Skarsgård versus the Hemsworth.
Which one is which?
So why do you think he's the Chris Hemsworth of the Skarsgårds?
Fuck. I mean, like, he seems better.
He seems better.
And Liam Hemsworth only has one thing to his name, and the other fat Hemsworth has only been in fucking the show with the androids.
The show with androids?
Not with the androids. In the Wild West, HBO. Westworld.
Oh, Westworld. He's in there's a Hemsworth in Westworld?
Yeah, he's fat though. It's weird.
Dang. The HBO has a like a tap on the Hemsworths and the Skarsgårds, because Alex Skarsgård was in True Blood. He was like Eric Northman in that show.
Really?
Yeah. Like from like the season 1 to the end of that show, he was in that shit. And that's where, like, I think he perfected his, like, you know, hunking, brooding, like, I
feel like the CW is the perfect place to do that. The CW is the perfect place to refine those mediocre acting skills.
Yeah, but only if your actors can still pretend to be like at a prom, you know, if they're in that age demographic, if they look young enough.
If they're in the age demographic, you mean like 25 to 30?
Well, that's what I mean. Like, if they're in that like actor age demographic of like.
Wait, you said True Blood?
True Blood, which was on
True Blood, which was a bunch of teenagers.
No,
I thought True Blood was adults.
No. True Blood was on HBO.
Oh, okay.
And there's definitely for adults. There's like
I totally thought
like
the CW
tits and
had
ass
True Blood.
and like blood and shit all over that fucking movie.
The girl who was in Daredevil was in that.
Yeah, that's like basically where I think she got her like real like go at acting probably. Like that's and she got.
I've never seen
acting. Like she was awesome in Daredevil. I heard she got a bunch of shit for Daredevil.
It's dumb.
Yeah, I think
She's
that's
great.
dumb as fuck. Any other? You got anything else in that churning out in that rumor mill?
I do have one quick thing.
Yeah.
So last week we talked about the Avatar creators leaving the Netflix project.
Yes.
Which
leaves me shaking in my boots still.
No, it's slightly scary. One of the other creators, so one of them wrote a very diplomatic, very polite statement.
Mm-hmm.
And the other one is doing interviews and really shit talking Netflix. Give me a second to turn this fan off.
They're playing good cop, bad cop.
Yeah, it's pretty much like that. But the other one who's pissed, he made a comment just the other day saying that there were two primary reasons why they left.
Ooh,
Netflix is refusing to give them an appropriate budget.
Oh.
And the second reason is they're refusing to stick with their promise of a racially appropriate cast.
Oh my God, dude. Like that's, I hope that's not true because that
I do too.
Like that was immediately one of the things that was hated on and still laughed about and cringed at in the Shyamalan movie. And if Netflix immediately does that, they're gonna fuck it up and nobody's gonna give a shit.
Yeah,
and if they don't have a budget to throw at it, like what the
it's
fuck
gonna
are
look
they
like? It's gonna be like this hodgepodge of mediocrity that Netflix does every once in a while.
Yeah, dude, that sucks. I hope that is not true.
It was one of the most soul crushing things to read.
Yeah, that fucking blows.
I
just recently tried to rewatch M. Night Shyamalan's Last Airbender.
You did? Why?
So fucking. It's because every now and then it's like trying to rewatch X-Men Origins Wolverine.
At least the first scene is good in Wolverine.
You're like, this is probably cool. I'm probably just like fucking it up. I had a little bit of that, and then immediately, once again, like first few scenes in that movie of Last Airbender, I was just like, this is garbage.
Dude, the dude from Twilight's a terrible Sokka.
That's where he's from.
He's one of the vampires.
Dude, like that. Yeah, he stands out so poorly.
Except he's like the stoic one.
Sokka's supposed to have like he's supposed to be comedic.
Yeah.
Like in everything he does, and that's how he learns and all this shit. And like that's one of the fun things about his character. That dude could not land a joke at all. He couldn't be funny at all.
There are two things missing about that Sokka.
What?
His lack of humor.
Yep.
And his misogyny.
For sure.
It's just like so weirdly like unhumorous for that character, and it's especially it sets it up so terribly. I don't know what the fuck they were trying to do with that movie.
I don't know.
Plus, when that movie wrapped shooting, the series wasn't even finished, so Shyamalan didn't know that there was supposed to be a romantic interest between Katara and Aang, so he made no effort to write it.
Well, he succeeded.
What a fucking moron!
Fucking it up.
Also, dude, you know this. The girl who plays Katara in that movie, she was the chick in Michael Bay's Transformers Age of Extinction.
Oh,
remember the one that they had to justify her having having a relationship with an overaged man? They took 5 minutes out of the fucking movie to explain that.
Oh my God, that's fucking right.
That was her.
Garbage.
Yeah.
Well, fuck it. Fuck those
terrible
movies, by the way.
Yeah.
All right.
So we get into Breaking Bad?
Yeah. We watched episodes 3 and 4 this week.
Yes.
I can't remember the names of the episodes, but I was reading them earlier, and I love the names of the episodes.
Yeah. I think it's
this one's And the Bags in the River,
and the other one's Cancer Man, right?
Yeah.
So Bags in the River, that one's like, it's so weirdly intense, but it's also a quieter episode, you know?
Yeah, for sure.
Like, up until the end where he kills the guy with the bike lock, it's one of those things where it's like Walt dealing with the shit and the pain that he's causing this man
Mm-hmm.
over his actions, and then eventually he has to completely break Walt's spirit by the end.
First, yeah. I mean, it's a really interesting kind of first for like so early in the series. That's a really interesting like kind of self-contained episode where it's mostly at the house, and if you, I think it's interesting to like hyper focus on directly on like Walt's guilt right away. When really like you're starting to see, I mean, like it's a really extreme situation. So I guess like it's like, you know, it's a good episode to focus on that shit. But yeah, I just think I don't know. I think it's interesting how he kind of parallels his own suffering with like the suffering he's putting. What's his fucking name through?
Why is his name escaping me?
Not to go.
Not to go.
No, to go.
Crazy Eight.
Crazy Eight. Yeah, that's right. Because there's that scene where he's like bringing him down a sandwich and everything's kind of like they're kind of getting along. They're
making small talk.
Yeah. And then and then White, like Walter fucking like has a coughing fit and then passes the fuck out. And it just reminded me that like he's really like he's not taking care of himself at all. He's just fucking like he's just going like he's passed out a couple of times through the series already.
Yeah, he's taking care of the fucking dude as prisoner in the basement
better than he's taking care of himself.
Yeah, which I think it's very emblematic of his character.
Which I mean, that's being said of like somebody tied up in a basement, I suppose. You know, but
still, he's making him fucking food. He's caring for the dude. He's making small talk.
Yeah.
He's talking about cutting him loose.
But it was interesting, like how the episodes 3 and 4 kind of differed, in a way, because how 3 was just like really centered around the house and like in their kind of in like Walt and Pinkman's kind of fucking heads, and like what they were like doing. 4 starts like expanding what's happening more, where it's just like, you know, it's more set like with Walt's family. It also has, you know, like
Jesse goes back to his house.
Yeah, and so you're kind of expanding the like focus on the like a bigger cast and a bigger part of like the town where it's set up and stuff like that.
Yeah, it seems like episode 4 is really setting the stage for like a lot of the side characters, or especially with Jesse sort of seeing his real motivations.
Yeah, I forgot
what
about
brought
that.
him to where he was.
I totally forgot about him interacting with his family, and I was like, man, like
I'm pretty sure like season 3, like that's the last time you see him.
Probably.
Yeah.
But like they it struck me as crazy because like you think like at first, you know, I bet they've like kind of, you know, been a little like shitty towards him and stuff like that, and like when they invite him back in for, you know, he has this like interaction after he gets up with his mom where he's like, he comes downstairs and Jesse's like, what time's dinner? And like stuff like that. And like, it's just like, he acts so like,
he's such a jackass.
Yeah. And it's just like,
but it's all facade, which is something you come to appreciate later.
Yeah. Which is like, what sucks. Cause like, you're just like, and if you know, that's what's interesting about rewatching it, because you're just like, God damn, dude, he's acting like such a fucking asshole. When
but it comes from a place of pain.
Yeah, exactly. And like
that's what makes him so sympathetic.
In that same episode, you see him like talk for I think the first time about wanting to stop smoking meth.
Yeah.
And his friends are like, basically laugh at him and like threaten to like stop hanging out with him. And so like to keep company for the first time, he's like, yeah, okay, fine, let's like bust this shit out and like let's get high.
Yeah.
And like that's that's a whole like interesting thing about this character, that it goes further and further as the show goes.
Yeah.
But, yeah. It's a really interesting character and cast building episode 4.
Yeah. I feel like because you get a bit more time with some of these other side characters, and you get to, especially with Jesse, like we get more of like really cementing Walt's motivations in this episode. Mm-hmm. But then with Jesse, you move on. You're like, oh, this is sort of why he's the way he is.
Yeah.
Like he's considered the family fuck up. Like his friends are assholes, even though like they're relatively likable in the grand scheme of Breaking Bad.
Oh, like, for sure, but
they're still assholes that are perpetuating bad behavior. It's like,
yeah,
like they're fucking him over in the long run.
Yeah, like he mentions like, oh, I'm starting to get paranoid off this shit, and they're just like, fuck you.
Yeah,
and then there's like a whole scene where he is paranoid. He's like staring out the window and shit. He's like
having a
"Oh my
meltdown.
God." Yeah, and it's like it's fucking shit's fucking crazy. But it's interesting to see that's an episode where basically it's like you see both of their motivations really kind of get more solidified.
Yeah,
like Jesse's
and
is
it continues
directly
to deepen the character.
For sure. Like Waltz is like motivated to like take care of his family and like leave something behind for him because he doesn't seem like he gives a fuck about his life though. Like that's the thing that's like
I think at this point Waltz really, like, once he really busts out and becomes successful in as a professional criminal, then he gets the will to live back. But at this point in the story, he's like, I'm gonna fucking die. I might as well just get all the money I can for my family.
Yeah, fair. Yeah, exactly. And like, and it's just so interesting to see him in this. I just like so far with this rewatch, I've just forgotten how just low, like in terms of morale, like the characters all start.
Yeah.
And like how just like, I don't know, just kind of like, I don't know, bleak everything seems to be and bland everything seems to be at the same time. It's so fucking weird. But it's
everything,
like,
and it's like it even is emulated with like the color grading of most of the shots. Everybody's just muted. There's no real color in anything,
Yeah, exactly.
Nothing pops.
Exactly, and I think
the most color popping thing is the meth, which is what's
fair enough.
Which it's true. It's like it's neon blue, and everything else is like different shades of brown and green.
Yeah. It's an interesting tone to set for the show for the first season. I love it. And also just a side note, episode 4, Cancer Man, is named directly after a character in X-Files, which is another Vince Gilligan show. So
he's so good.
Yeah, I was like, that's
also
genius.
Episode 4 ends with one of my favorite moments of him blowing up the car.
Oh yeah, I love that. That.
I think that's like setting the seeds of like he's becoming more confident again. Mm-hmm. Like he's done caring. Like that sounds terrible, but it's true. Like it's Walt's. Like he's breaking away from the purity of his previous self.
Fair enough.
Say, even though that purity fucking sucked, and he's living a better life in the gray. Yeah,
kind of. Yeah, it's interesting to see him, and it's like almost those flare ups are like so interesting because you're just like you forget sometimes that Walt has like such a damn temper. And then like it just becomes like whoa, like,
it's all below the surface.
And then when it boils over, it's like car on fire.
Which I mean, that dude fucking deserved it. What a prick!
He was a fucking prick. The fucking Bluetooth prick. Like,
every time, every time, man.
So much, dude. Turn that shit off when you're in
AirPods too.
AirPods. I just got some AirPods. I'm gonna be honest, but that's because I just wanted to wear. It's so much of a hassle with a wire when you have to wear a mask.
It's dude. I agree. But here's my thing with AirPods. If you take one out and while you're talking to me, I'm cool with it.
Yeah.
If you come up to me and you have both your fucking AirPods in and are talking to me, you're not taking me seriously.
No, I agree. It's like it's AirPod etiquette. It's fucking people need to fucking learn it, really.
Yeah.
Also, just side note, when you take one of those AirPods out, it turns off your shit anyway. So like,
you got. So one of them. Yeah. At least this is how my Bluetooth earbuds work. They're not AirPods, but to my knowledge, this is how it works. Is that usually one of them is the lead signal and the other one's a follower. So you take out the one that's the follow and it doesn't kill the signal.
Oh, interesting. I'll have to try that.
Yeah.
AirPods. Okay, so
go Apple.
We got one more. We watched Mission Impossible Mission Impossible 5. I'm flubbing this up. You just started.
Mission Impossible 5 Rogue Nation.
There we go.
How did you feel about this one, man?
Okay, so again, I'm just gonna preface this with like I fucking hate Tom Cruise. I hate his face. I wish this movie had why isn't Jeremy Renner the lead in this movie?
Here's my thing. Like I actually wanted to throw this out there because me and Kate were talking about it before we recorded. I mentioned that you hate Tom Cruise, and she made a good point. It's like Tom Cruise could act as any given white male who's willing to do his own stunts.
Yeah. I mean, he really can. He's the most generic actor.
Yeah.
In terms of like big budget actors, like you can, and that's why his
notoriety comes exclusively from doing everything.
And that's pretty much. And that's also like the couch, him jumping on that couch, that viral clip like made him like forever in the public eye. But Cruise, anyway, I just don't like him. I just think he's garbage. But the stunts he pulls, are pretty cool. Like the plane, like I remember
that pained you so much.
I remember saying it did. I remember seeing the plane clip before obviously watching this movie.
Yeah.
But watching it in the context of the movie was a lot more fun, and it's really fucking cool to see when he like really hits him when he's on the side of the plane, and stuff.
Yeah.
There's stunts like that are really neat. The story really heavily reminds me of the James Bond storyline from Daniel Craig's run.
Yep.
Which
Spectre.
I looked it up, and it definitely came before this, by a few years. And so I was just sort of like, I feel like one of the
are we talking
this
Skyfall
movie,
or Spectre?
mostly Skyfall, in the fact that it's like kind of the web of like mysterious but connected people, which is a fairly like generic spy
trope.
plot. But it's like I keep saying episode 4. It's like number 4, Ghost Protocol. It does those things well.
Yeah,
movie.
It's
what I mean?
they might be cliche, but a cliche exists for a reason.
Yeah, but there are also some like way cool stunts in this movie, which is like something that I appreciate. Like the underwater scene.
So fucking cool.
Like, I mean, I imagine it was probably CGI when he like drops down.
Yeah, into it had to be CGI, but it's a really cool set piece.
It looked really cool, and then like just that whole sequence underwater was really fucking dope. Also.
Dude, the car chase into the motorcycle chase.
Oh yeah,
that's sweet. Plus, I actually think one of my favorite set pieces in any Mission Impossible movie, or in any like movie of this general space, is them in the opera.
Oh yeah, for sure.
That one's sweet because the build is so good.
Mm-hmm.
It's one of those scenes that gets so tense so quickly. It sets the parameters, it sets the rules, it sets what has to be done.
Yeah,
and it works really fucking well.
Yeah, it does. I agree with you. I was gonna bring this up. One of the you mentioned the motorcycle scene.
Yeah.
There's this little clip. This is how you know Tom Cruise does his own stunts. If you ever wanted to verify, there's this little clip where he's like taking a corner.
Oh, he's bending the knee down?
Yeah, and you see his knee like hit the ground for a second, and then you see his face, and he like moves his knee, and you're like, oh shit. Like,
that's hardcore.
Yeah.
That shit's wild.
Yeah, dude. I was like, oh my God. I've never wanted to go that fast on a motorcycle. I've never felt that appeal.
Yeah, neither have I. That shit's terrifying. But it makes for really good filmmaking.
It does. And I would argue that these movies are more they're not as stylish as the current James Bond run has been.
Yeah.
But they, in terms of like action sequences and storyline, they're pretty on par with the run.
Yeah, I feel like Mission Impossible is like pretty consistently on like an uphill.
Mm-hmm.
Like I do you feel like Rogue Nation was better than Ghost Protocol?
Yes, definitely.
Okay.
Yeah.
Like I feel like it's a consistent like up, while James Bond's like the highs are blowing Mission Impossible out of the park. But then, like, you go to Quantum of Solace, and then it comes right back up for Skyfall, and then it goes down at Spectre.
Yeah. I mean, Quantum of Solace was like, it just, I think it's definitely the weak point in those movies. But
yeah, totally.
Either way.
That's another thing. But it's like it weirdly applies to a point of just like they're definitely like the main competitor for these films, and the closest thing that you could like the plot lines to.
For sure. I would say if we. You know how we joke about Fast and Furious being like superhero movies?
Yeah.
If they're like Mission Impossible is like the Fast and Furious of those the
spy films
of like not necessarily kind of, but like of specifically like James Bond spy films. Like it's like the Fast and Furious of James Bond movies. Like it's super cool. The stunts are super cool. The sequences are great.
Yeah.
But like because of Tom Cruise, I think it just drags it down, and that's
it's absurd. It's insane, but the lead is just not charismatic enough.
Yeah, exactly. It comes down to like the acting, like the crew. A lot of the actors around it, like Alec Baldwin popping up in this movie, fucking Simon Pegg back,
who they keep giving more to do.
Yeah,
they keep
he
giving
actually
Simon
had
Pegg more.
He had some action sequences that were pretty good. You know, I was like interesting to see his character try and get in like a bout of like fisticuffs almost with. It was interesting that to see those characters kind of grow, but
yeah. I think these movies, there's a charm to it. Very much, I actually like your comparison to Fast and Furious because it is like that. Like it's not especially well acted, but like the cast is charming enough. You know,
but you're surrounded with enough cooler, like better done, well done stuff.
There's enough content to it.
It makes up for that. The acting side of it.
I will say I am excited to see what you say next week when you watch number 6, Fallout. Because I actually think that one, the stunts are so well executed. And I think it's the first movie that gives you a reason to actually be like, woo, Ethan Hunt. You know? Like other than like he's saving the world, but it's the first one that gives you a bit more of his mindset. It also is like the one where they really start cementing that like he is a crazy person like Tom Cruise is in the real world. Yeah. And they treat his character as such.
Like a little more hostile towards Ethan Hunt, huh?
No, not hostile, but they treat him like a lunatic. Like like they think that he's a crazy man for doing all the stuff that he does. But you start seeing from Ghost Protocol forward, and really in Fallout, they're like, dude, what the fuck is wrong with you? Like I think in Fallout, like Simon Pegg says, like we just don't watch. We don't watch.
We just don't watch. We just let him go.
just let him do his thing. It's one of those things. But I also Fallout has the much more charismatic side character of Henry Cavill showing up. So
I am interested.
And he is a fucking badass. And I think just pay attention when you're watching the beginning of that film. Mm-hmm. There's a scene in a bathroom with Henry Cavill and Tom Cruise where it's a fight with a dude who played one of the Royal Guards in The Last Jedi. Oh. And it is one of the best pieces of action filmmaking I've ever seen.
Nice.
It is so well done.
Let me ask you this. Is Henry Cavill's mustache fake?
No. They definitely didn't CGI that shit off. No, it's... Oh God, it's such a better movie than Justice League would have been anyway. Like that's so I'm okay with them fucking over Justice League.
Fair enough. All right, and that actually gives me the perfect segue. So I'm looking forward to watching the next Mission Impossible movie.
Yes,
which we'll talk about next week. But as we get close to ending this episode, I wanted to mention that DC is about to do their like online DC fandom thing.
That's like pseudo Comic-Con press conference.
Yeah, and that will probably actually have some news and new content to talk about. Yeah. So hopefully we get some interesting stuff from that coming up soon.
Hey, I should just throw this out there. Did you see the clip from Justice League, the Snyder Cut?
Oh yeah, I did.
Just very brief.
Yeah, very brief, but you know, like it.
Black suit.
It alludes to some changes. I'm just interested to see, because Snyder said, in terms of the Snyder Cut, that he would rather scrap the whole project than use any of Whedon's footage.
Yeah.
So with that being said, I'm interested to see what is missing from the original cut and replaced with other, storylines or filler or whatever.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
It'll be interesting. I hope we get a peek at that. I hope we get a peek at Black Adam.
Yep.
I hope we get another look at Wonder Woman.
It's probably exactly. I read that Kirsten or whatever. The lady playing Kirsten Wiig, the lady playing I read that she was not allowed to like take any photos or anything like that in her cheetah suit to keep it like super.
I don't know how the fuck that's gonna look, man. That's
so intrigued by it because that's make or break for me like how serious to take like that aspect of the movie. If she looks dumb as fuck, I'm gonna be like, oh my god,
dude. I'm really hoping. I really like the Dark Knight movies, but I really hope it's not a Catwoman.
No,
Where it's
I
like
hope
the
not
night
either.
vision goggles that flip up and are the ears.
I really hope not either. I hope they stay true to form where like she kind of like almost slowly like transforms fully into
physically,
the cheetah thing. That would be pretty cool. Because like why the fuck not at this point in terms of these movies? You're not like, you know,
they're not grounded in realism. I mean, come on. That's the only reason that I was able to give that a pass in The Dark Knight Rises. It was like these films are grounded in reality.
Yeah.
To a point.
We get it. She's a cat burglar.
Car fucking black cat.
Yeah, dude, seriously. But yeah, so that'll be interesting. Seeing any new news from DC. I'm also though interested to see if anything pops up from Marvel in the meantime, because as always, you want to kind of keep an eye. If one main competitor is like launching some news, another one might be on the verge of like leaking something big, just to like kind of compete, you know. So
at this point, it'll be just like DC will be like Snyder Cut trailer, and Marvel will be like, we're greenlighting another Avengers movie, just to like shit on them. Like that's
Secret Wars,
dude. Fuck, that'll be great.
And we'll be here, Matinee Edition, like like SpongeBob.
You'll get our hot takes.
Yeah, we'll be a thirsty sponge waiting to soak it up.
Cheerio.
So I guess we'll leave it at that. Fun stuff on the horizon, as always. I don't know.
I raise my glass to you, listener.
To you, hot dogs, dear people.
Cheers. Ching ching.
This has been episode 43. I'm Jared.
There's Lucas.
Matinee Edition, suckers.
Jamie Foxx for Blade.
I'm